Morning guys, so I wanted to do a little follow-up to Cronny's question in the Facebook group the other day about calories, and we talked a little bit about protein as well. So just wanted to kind of go back over that stuff and talk about a little bit more about the details of setting your caloric intake and making sure that you maintain a calorie deficit throughout the week and through the weekend so that you can keep the results coming and you're not setting yourself back continuously. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about as we went over was just the general recommendation for calories. So you can see here we've got body weight times 10 to 12. Okay, so if you're 220 pounds, that means that your general calorie recommendations are going to be anywhere from 2,200 to 2,640 calories per day. If you're somebody who is working out 3 to 4 times a week and you have a pretty active job, you're on your feet all day, you're walking around a lot, manual labor, stuff like that, you're probably going to want to start off in the higher range of this number, so closer to that 2,640, that higher end of the range, whatever that range ends up being for you. If you're fairly sedentary, then you know what I mean, driving around all day, sitting at a desk all day, you're going to want to be more towards the lower end of that recommendation. I would also say that if you're getting above that 225 pound body weight range, you know what I mean? You're probably also going to want to start at the lower end of this recommendation regardless of your job. Obviously, the higher your body weight goes and the more we're doing these multiplications, that's going to put you in a pretty high recommendation for calories, regardless of which end of this we go with. So we're going to want to start on the bottom end of the recommendations for that one. Protein, also really important, 0.8 to 1 gram per day per pound of body weight. So again, if we have our 220 pound guy, that's going to put him in the range of 176 to 220 grams of protein per day. And if we consider that 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, that's going to mean that 704 to 880 calories of that total daily calorie intake is going to come from protein. And protein is really important for weight loss and fat loss for a few different reasons. It's really important for growing and maintaining your muscle mass, and maintaining your muscle mass is really important when you're on a calorie deficit, because if you're not getting enough protein, you can start to lose muscle mass rather than losing the fat that you want to lose. Okay, protein can do a really good job of keeping you satisfied, increase satiety. Okay, so if you're eating enough protein, you're going to feel fuller, you're going to feel more satisfied. It leads to better recovery from exercise, obviously important. Some of the workouts that you guys are doing right now are pretty tough. And it's got a higher thermic effect than carbs or fat, which means that when you're digesting protein, your body is burning more calories than when you eat carbs or fat. Okay, so if we move on to like our weekly eating structure, I've got a graph here that represents each day of the week. So if we say that you're taking in, like say for example, you can see I got 2,200 calories here on Monday. Generally, we would want to try to maintain that through the week. So when problems arise is when we start to go over this on any given day. Okay, so if you guys are pretty strict with your eating through the week, Monday to Friday, you guys maintain this 2,200 calories, and then let's say Friday night comes along, and after work, you go out for a couple of beers. After getting all the food in that you've been getting throughout the week and hitting that 2,200 calorie goal every day, after work, you decide to go out for some beers and maybe some appetizers or something like that. So that's going to stack a couple extra calories on that Friday, okay? And then Saturday comes along, and it's the same kind of thing. You get that 2,200 calories a day in, and then whatever else it is, going out to eat and maybe not making the best choices or whatever it might be, it stacks some more on the top there. Sunday, same thing. So you can see what kind of happens. Like obviously, these increased calories, they're going to add up and they're going to take you out of that that calorie deficit, because obviously it applies on a day-to-day basis, but it also applies on a week-to-week basis. And I think that's where it really matters the most, is that you're maintaining that calorie deficit on a week-to-week basis and a day-to-day basis. So at the end of the week, these extra weekend calories are taking us out of that overall deficit. It's going to be near impossible for you guys to get some good sustainable fat loss results. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Okay, so what can you do to balance this out a little bit so that you can enjoy yourself a little bit on the weekend? There's a couple different things that you can do that I prefer anyway. The first one would be to skip one of your meals on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Ideally breakfast, so you could just wake up and have coffee for breakfast, and that would negate whatever calories you would have taken in for breakfast to allow you to kind of backload the day a little bit. The other thing that you can do is stick to just protein and vegetables for all your meals leading up to those higher calorie meals. Sorry, you guys can't see this. Okay, so skipping meals and then just protein and vegetables throughout the day. Those would be my two best tips for trying to stay in that deficit through the week, because I really don't want you guys to suffer through the weekends. I know I enjoy my weekend treats, but I also am sure to either skip breakfast or keep my meals pretty lean throughout the day. Hopefully these are some helpful tips for you guys. If you have any questions or if you have any of your own suggestions for trying to accomplish this kind of stuff, you can hit it up in the comments. Okay, thanks guys.